Hi, welcome to DTS TechFed. Today we're going to be doing a tutorial on assignment 1. We're just going to briefly go through the little task, or not little, the task that we need to complete for it. So if you have not subscribed to us yet, subscribe to us, share us out, and like us so that it will help us out in the algorithm. Let's get for the aim. So the aim that we're working with is learning aim A, and it states understand the benefits and implications of installing and maintaining hardware in technology systems. The objectives we will be working with is for P1, we're going to explain the benefits of installing and maintaining hardware for two different technology systems. For M1, we will be reviewing how installing and maintaining hardware for one technology system could impact an individual or organization. And finally, if you're on your D task, and it will be like, woohoo, you will discuss the strengths and weaknesses of hardware for a given technology system. So now let's briefly go through what I expect of you for the introduction. So as you can see here, I won't be reading it out. It's just as a reference for you. We will be using this scenario to work through all of the units assignments, A, B, C, and D. And you need to pay attention to the job role that you will be working as, in this case, a junior systems engineer, and also the company that you will be working for. This will be CTech Incorporated. The aims we'll be working on is P1, M1, and D1, as I stated in the previous sections of the video. For your introduction, you're going to briefly give a background, maybe a short paragraph on your job role. You can include what a junior systems engineer does as a job role, and you can just briefly say what CTech Incorporated is all about. It's up to you. When you have written these sections, just ensure that you include what you will be writing up in the body of the assignment. This will include, can't talk for some strange reason. This will include P1, which we're going to explain the benefits of installing and maintaining hardware for two different systems. I'm just going to briefly say what you're going to do for P1, M1, and D1. So you're going to incorporate all of this in the introduction. For your P1, as I said, I'm not going to read it again because I did it before. This is just a template that you can use if you're struggling to start P1. The sections I am going to read in this slide is computers or workstation used by the media team. And the other one is computers or workstations used by the finance department. So these are the two teams you will be working with. So essentially, you need to research about the different technology systems in terms of the hardware and the software they will need to effectively complete the task they're wanting to complete. Going to go on to a continuation of P1. So this, as I usually do, is a guideline, only a guideline of how you can write up what the hardware is. So you must give a definition of what the particular hardware does, and you also need to say so say what it is, so a description of it, and then you also need to say what it does, yeah, and the benefits of either installing or maintaining this particular internal hardware. or internal component, as I have been referring to it in class. So for your P1, you want to ensure that anything you do for one, you do it for two. So if you're going to write up about the network card, you're going to write up whether or not you're going to, why it would benefit the media team to install a network card, or why would it benefit your finance department, or if it would be needed. It's up to you totally. So, well, it's not totally up to you. I want you to explain it, how you would need to use this. So some cards, obviously it won't be necessary for finance, but would be required for media, and we will discuss what media would be covering in class as well. But some examples of what media will be working on would be like advertisements, or they will be working on maybe video files and animation, and it will take a lot of storage. So you might want to think about storage, upgrade, and maintenance for this department as well. Try to do at least 5. So I want 5 different internal hardware components and their benefits for each. Let's move on to your M. So your M1 is a review. So it's to review how installing and maintaining hardware for one technology system, and it says one, could impact an individual or organization. I won't read through this, but you know, as we've gone through it in class, what a review is. You're going to look at it from different angles, and then you're going to say why it's necessary over why isn't. This is an example of what a student has done. They have done a slash, and I do not like that informal writing. It's not required. You use the word or instead of a slash. Okay, so as you can see on here, it says an individual or organization that or organization that has installed a router would allow for individuals to connect, send data. So they're explaining, but I want you to look at, if they didn't have it, what would happen? If it needs upgraded, what would happen? So in terms of the review, and if it's upgraded, how would it impact the company? And if it wasn't upgraded, how would it affect the company? For example, if you didn't upgrade your antivirus software, what would happen? So think about these things. I'm not giving you the answer because I want you to think about these things. We're going to move on. So the D1's task is discuss the strengths and weaknesses of hardware for the given technology system. So on here you can just see, and it's an example of what you could write up in terms of the strengths and weaknesses. So a strength of an organization having a router is that having one allows multiple users to use a network instead of paying a provider for a new IP address. And all including, I'm just going to give an example as well. For example, a network printer would allow staff members to complete tasks more effectively, as it will, as the staff member wouldn't need to be using a printer. He wouldn't need to directly go to the printer to press a button. They could use a network printer. If you upgrade a network printer, then the staff member can do multiple tasks, which will make everything quicker, make the task quicker, one particular task. For example, if I wanted to send a document, I could scan it at the network printer. I could email it from the network printer. So that would be 2 tasks over and done with, and just by me just standing at the printer. Yeah, and I could just have the document, scan it, and then email it to myself. So there are numerous strengths and weaknesses we can think about. These are just some examples so that you can have an idea of what you need to put in the assignment. So this is the final section of the assignment. You need to cover P1, M1, and D1 if you're working towards a. Thank you for watching. So please like, subscribe, and share us out if you have not done so. And I will see you in the next part of my video. Hope this helps. On this channel, we're all about education.